But in the meantime, Iowa legislators gavelled out this weekend, ending their session for the year. We dove into that in our first half hour. And now we're taking a look at Illinois politics. Lawmakers in Springfield still have a few weeks before the end of their legislative session. So here to fill us in on what's been happening is Brendan Moore, State House reporter for Capitol News, Illinois. All right, Brendan, thank you so much as always for your time. I want to start with a story that has been all over Illinois news for the last week. Back at the end of April, 2 Chicago police officers were shot at the Swedish hospital. One of them died. One of them is still in critical condition. And it's raised a lot of questions, particularly from Republicans, about the state's Safety Act. So what's being said here?
Yeah, Shelby, we see this a lot when you have high-profile tragic instances, like in this case, of calls for reform of the Safety Act, which is the law that basically reformed Illinois system of pretrial release. Basically means if you can, there's a presumption of innocence, and that eliminates cash bail. But basically, in this case, this suspect who's accused of killing this police officer was out on electric monitoring when he allegedly committed this crime, and so there is a debate in Springfield about whether or not he should have been allowed out. Now, it should be noted that that the judge in this case had the authority to detain this person, but permitted him to be out in electronic monitoring. So it's not necessarily a Safety Act issue, but there is a call for maybe some reforms, a tweak that would maybe alter some of that discretion, given some of the instances we've seen where electronic monitoring has not prevented people from out on bond from committing more crimes.
Yeah, we already saw some lawmakers take action. We saw a couple proposals when it comes to potentially, I don't even know if you want to go so far as to say reforming the Safety Act, but tweaking it a little bit. Have those gotten any traction in the last week?
Not really. We've seen we saw some talk earlier this year from Governor Pritzker and from some of the legislative leaders that maybe we have some tweaks of the Safety Act, but it wasn't necessarily. I mean, they tweak laws all the time. They do these little trailer bills that fix language every now and then, but no real wide ranging fix. We've seen some Republican leaders propose some changes. One that would basically say the judges can't release people on electronic monitoring when they're out on pretrial, and but I wouldn't expect to see that go anywhere in Springfield, where Democrats have supermajorities.
Well, let's turn now to education. Illinois, the State Board of Ed, wants $200,000 to figure out a new way to count low-income students. It's estimated that about half of Illinois' 1.8 million public school students are designated as low income. So how are they counted currently, and why is a change needed?
Yeah, so most of these students are counted based on various federal assistance programs that they may be covered by, whether that is SNAP or Medicaid, and other safety net programs. But some folks at the Illinois Department of the Board of Education believe that a change may be needed as some changes at the federal level take effect, where we're seeing a reduction in people that are covered by food stamps, that are covered by Medicaid and other programs. And while a lot of these changes mostly affect adults, there is a worry that eventually it'll trickle down and whole households may not be benefiting from that. So it may not be as accurate of an assessment of who actually is low income and what the actual need is.
Well, Brendan, I don't want to let you go without talking about redistricting. This has been a national story. We have the Supreme Court ruling last week that race-based redistricting is unconstitutional. In the few days since that happened, we've already seen southern states move to redraw a lot of their maps. We're seeing gutting the power of Black and minority voters. So what are Illinois lawmakers saying about redistricting?
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, the House passed they tried to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot that would ensure that race was taken into account to protect minority representation in Springfield. The Senate did not take it up last week. because they were concerned that the language, which kind of mirrored what was in the Federal Voting Rights Act, would be viewed as potentially unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. So they're taking a bit of a wait and see approach. They're exploring the rule. They're studying the ruling to see what they can do. But in the meantime, Illinois has already held their primaries, so Illinois' map is not going to change. It's already a heavily gerrymandered, partisan gerrymander for Democrats, but I would not be surprised if the redistricting wars eventually come to Illinois, especially if we do see some of those southern states and other Republican states redistrict. I think states like Illinois may do it in kind, which would be kind of a little bit more gymnastics than they already do. It's a 14-3 map. It looks kind of strange. It may even get even stranger.
Well, Brendan, we only have a few seconds left. So just briefly, we have a few weeks before this year's legislative session wraps up. But from your perspective, as we get closer to the end, does it seem like lawmakers in the Senate and the House are on the same page when it comes to the budget they're going to have to pass?
There's always some fighting between the House and the Senate, even among the Democrats that control each chamber. But today we actually got a update from the Commission on Government Forecasting and Accountability, which is the legislative research arm. It found that there was no April surprise this year in terms of tax receipts into the state coffers. April is usually a pretty good month to indicator because it's tax day. It's the biggest month for receipts. It came in about where they expected it to. So at the very least, lawmakers enter May with a good baseline for where the numbers are.
And we'll wait and see what happens from there. Brendan, as always, thank you so much for your time with us today. And for you guys at home, we have our political coverage for both states up on our website underneath the As Seen on TV tab at the top of the homepage.